stops murdering its people with chemical weapons. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley going after Russia for their role in this whole thing at an emergency meeting earlier today.
But we know who did this. Russia can complain all it wants about fake news, but no one is buying its lies and its cover-ups.
The president going after Russia for not ridding the area of chemical weapons. France and the United Kingdom coming alongside the U.S. I'm John Bagnasco, and this is USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wayne Alaroot. Tangible Investments is the main title sponsor of my show. Many of my fans and listeners tell me they buy gold and collectible coins from a local dealer in their city because they don't know where else to go. Or from telemarketers they see on TV because these companies spend millions to advertise. Sadly, the majority of companies that consumers reach out to rely on commissioned salespersons who have limited experience, limited expertise, and no credentials whatsoever. Tangible Investments has been around for 35 years. They build long-term relationships, not one-time sales. They work on the lowest spreads anywhere in the industry, so you always get the best price. Most importantly, the listeners of War Now are guaranteed to deal directly with Mike Bonham, VP of Tangible, and a staff of senior executives with a combined 200 years of experience in precious metals. Get the best prices, the lowest spread, deal with the most credible, experienced experts in the industry, and right now start your off with a free American Silver Eagle. Leave your free American Silver Eagle. Call 800-780-9000. That's 800-780-9000. Or visit TII1.com.
The latest police officer killed in the line of duty was a member of a Cape Cod, Massachusetts force. USA Radio's Chris Barnes with more.
The suspect accused of murdering Officer Shannon on Thursday has over one prior offenses. Yarmouth Town Police Chief Fredrickson says,
Sean was a wonderful, wonderful young man. And I'm not just saying that. I'm going to miss him terribly.
Suspect Tom Latnowich allegedly shooting the officer as he was trying to serve a warrant on him. He then barricaded himself in a home for hours before finally surrendering. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein says he expects to get fired. He's being criticized for his role in getting former FBI Director James Comey fired. And for the way the Russian investigation has played out, it was his signature that signed off on the FBI raids of the president's lawyer's office earlier in the week. And the president pardoning Dick Cheney's former chief of staff, Scooter Libby, on Friday. This is USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines. 800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg testifying in Washington this week. USA Radio's Tim Berg recaps
One of the big stories this week was Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg testifying on Capitol Hill. Much of the discussion revolved around the election in 2016 and just how much of your data is safe. Some lawmakers did question Zuckerberg on if Facebook was blocking certain content that it may not agree with politically. Let's take a listen to some of the questioning and then some of Zuckerberg's response.
But I'd like to show you right now a little picture here. Do you recognize these folks?
I do.
Who are they?
I believe, is that Diamond and Silk?
And their content was deemed by your folks to be unsafe. Diamond and Silk have a question for you, and that question is, what is unsafe about two black women supporting President Donald J. Trump?
Well, Congressman, nothing is unsafe about that.
Why is Facebook censoring conservative bloggers such as Diamond and Silk?
Congressman, in that specific case, our team made an enforcement error, and we have already gotten in touch with them to reverse it.
For USA Radio News, my name is Tim Berg.
And security tight as Coachella kicks off this weekend. Here's Chris Barnes.
Over a dozen law enforcement agencies at the local, state, and federal levels will be working together over the next 2 weekends as fans watch some of the music world's biggest acts.
That's Chris Barnes, and this is USA Radio News.
This is an urgent health notice for all residents suffering from back, neck, knee, and wrist pain. You may qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace. These items may even be covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility and to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your out-of-pocket cost. Don't wait. If the deadline passes, you may lose your opportunity to get a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760.
Welcome to the Garden America Radio Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
And a good Saturday morning, just like that. We are here 6 minutes after the hour, back on Facebook Live. Tiger Palafox is back from last weekend. We'll quickly discuss your adventures. A couple of people referring to that already on Facebook. John Bagnasco, back, tanned, ready, and rested. I'm Bryan, Maine. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good show. 2 hours back in the saddle. My saddle's a little
saddle sore last
My
night.
saddle doesn't fit for some reason. I got to move around here. But anyway, thank you so much for being right there. Thank you for tuning in AM 1240 here in San Diego, Facebook Live. Remember, for those of you in Southern California, the replay on AM 740, 2 p.m., covering Los Angeles and most of Southern California. The good news, Tiger is back, and you were a marathon man last weekend. We got a couple of people on Facebook referring to that, Tiger.
Yeah, I had a fun time. I called in. Remember, I was doing the Ragnar race from
That was a
Huntington
good. By the way,
Beach.
thanks for the call-in. We needed that.
Yeah,
it was perfect timing.
I figured I'd hit you guys up while I'm running from Huntington Beach to San Diego. It was a great weekend for the run. I had a good time. I'd definitely do it again, and a lot of good memories. It was a good time.
Now, you didn't run by yourself. This is like a tag team in a way.
Yeah, it's a relay. So each person runs a little bit of a.
It's called a relay, not a tag team.
This isn't WWF. You get in there with a chair. You smash it.
So you broke no chairs over anybody's head.
No.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but it was a great weekend for running, and as I mentioned, I wasn't super excited about my route when I first saw it, but I saw a lot of really neat parts of Orange County, and then obviously into San Diego. I was really familiar with that area, but there's some wonderful parks that we ran through and different neighborhoods and stuff like that, and everybody was really friendly and nice. It was awesome.
Well, good job. We're glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Had some Facebook problems last weekend, but that hopefully is over with in history. People back tuning in this morning. Good to have Tiger back. Again, 855-424-9825 if you want to call us. Obviously, Facebook Live, questions, comments right there. We usually get to those right away because we continue to monitor them. And then last, but certainly not least, John at gardenamerica.com for your questions. Again, do want to remind you to download the iHeartRadio app because we are starting to do podcasting. Now, John did something that I was so impressed with, Tiger. I told you, in our newsletter this week, if you scroll down to the bottom, there is a link which will take you directly to about 4 or 5 podcast shows that are currently up there for your listening pleasure. Now, we should mention those shows are actually previous radio shows that we took. We edited out the commercials, and we're using those as our podcast for right now. But starting hopefully next week, we will be doing individual podcast shows that'll last anywhere from, say, 22 to 30 minutes. We'll pick a topic, and we'll stick to that topic for the entire half hour or so, and then also post those podcasts on iHeartRadio. But again, if you click the link at the bottom, it'll take you right to those podcasts. So 2 different things going on here in the future, the radio show, the Facebook Live, and then individual podcasting on radio, which will be maybe a topic on let's say, roses or succulents, something like that. So that's what's happening as we continue to move forward digitally, John, just like you wanted to do years ago.
I tried to do that back in the 80s, and no one even knew what I was talking about.
You were way ahead of your time.
That's right. Hey, you know what? I think I don't think I told you guys about something that I did this week.
Is it legal, what you did?
No, it's legal, but I finally threw in the towel and gave up.
Oh.
How many years have people been telling us, why can't I grow carnations? And we keep explaining why.
Yeah, usually me asking about the carnations, right?
Yeah, and Steve from Simi Valley, and everybody wants carnations. So, watch. I didn't have time to get it up on the website this week, but next week we will be offering carnation plants for sale.
Is this because I've been bugging you for 2 years?
Yes, absolutely. So
wow.
we're gonna have two types. We're gonna have the Odessa series. We're gonna have.
That's a great series. You know that.
Yeah. Did you know there was an album with a red velvet cover that was put out by the Bee Gees called Odessa?
I don't remember that.
It was prior to their disco days.
Okay, back in the late 60s probably, or early 70s?
Yeah, right
okay.
around then.
Odessa,
yeah. So anyway, the Odessa series, Odessa Pure, is a white carnation. And it looks like the regular carnation except short stems, so they don't fall over.
And that was the big problem. You said carnations are hard to grow. The stems don't support themselves.
The florist carnations are just... when Sharon was here, we mentioned that Mendoksai, which is Japanese
too much
for
trouble.
Too much trouble.
Yeah.
So we'll have that, and then we have another one called something pink, which is a semi-double.
Now, is it called
form.
something pink, or you forgot the word?
It's like fresh pink.
Okay. So go to our
remember.
Never know. You never know nowadays.
But then
go to our website for the carnations, is what you're saying.
Right, but they're not there yet.
Okay.
That's why I'm just warning people because we have limited quantities. And then the next series is called Sunflower, and the varieties there are Dynamite, Beetle, and Mimi.
Okay.
Those are smaller carnations made for growing in pots. So if you had like a 6-inch pot, you wanted to grow some.
Which ones did you give me last week?
You know, I did not do my research before I gave those to you.
One is a white one starting to bud.
That might be the Odessa Pure.
Okay.
But I didn't really look at yours.
Okay, that's fine. We'll see what happens.
I think you got both types.
I planted the tomatoes as well, the dwarfs that you gave me.
All right.
So things are moving right along. And
so what else do you need?
I'm out of soil. What else? I need soil. Is what I need.
You always need soil.
What else do I need? What do we have?
Well, since we were adding these carnations, I came across an isoplexus a new one called Berry Canary, and. You know what an isoplexus is, right? Tiger does, right?
It's the WWF wrestling move, right?
Right.
We were just talking about
isoplexus.
Get him in the hand hold.
There's a. I'm trying to think now what the plant is. My mind just went blank.
That's okay.
It's a cross between foxglove, which is digitalis, and a cross between. Something that begins with iso.
No, you've done very well so far. Don't worry about forgetting that. My gosh, you're doing well.
That bothers
anyway,
me
so go to our website.
Anyway, yeah, those plants are. I checked some other websites that are offering them, and I saw they were around $15 a piece, and I think we're going to be able to sell them for around $7 or $8.
There you go, GardenAmerica.com, ladies and gentlemen, for all the great deals.
But again, also, real limited quantity, so. We will start taking orders next week, but I would check the website around Wednesday. Hopefully I can get them.
So go to GardenAmerica.com. You can also go to GardenAmerica.com and sign up for the newsletter. You should be receiving that newsletter, which will appear in your email inbox every Friday. Talks about upcoming guests, talks about all the various things that John and Sharon have written over the years, articles, so on and so forth. People send us pictures. We also post pictures of what's growing in people's backyards, maybe a critter or two. So send your pictures to John at GardenAmerica.com. We'll post them hopefully on our newsletter and or Facebook. You never know where they're going to end up.
Right.
Never know. It's part of the fun. You finished that big old switch. You buy cinnamon bun there?
Cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll.
Delicious.
It's going to sit right in your stomach all day.
Perfect. I'm still trying to reload after the run last week.
Yeah, a lot of Gatorade last week.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Too much.
Too much Gatorade. Okay, John at GardenAmerica.com. Also Facebook questions, comments right there on Facebook Live. We are broadcasting on Biz Talk Radio, heard locally on AM 1240. Later on this afternoon, replay of this very same show at 2 p.m. on AM 740. So thank you so much for that. And again, do download the iHeart Radio app to hear different shows altogether. Podcasting starting in the next couple of weeks, which will be different from the radio show. John has the quote of the week, too, by the way.
You know, and also I got my mind straightened out here, and the reason I was caught on the isoplexus is that isoplexis is actually one of the crosses. The plant is called digiplexis, which is a cross between digitalis and isoplexis.
Okay, do you feel better now about
I feel
yourself?
a lot better, yeah.
Beautiful. Hey, Melinda Myers is our guest today.
Okay, you want the
speaking
quote
of
first,
upcoming
though, right?
things happening on this radio show, the quote, yes, because then we'll take a break and back, and I will double-check with our studio coordinator to make sure Melinda's ready to go.
I thought this was a great quote, and the quote is, "To be able to walk under the branches of a tree that you have planted is really to feel you've arrived with your garden."
Who was that quote by?
That was Mirabel Osler, who wrote Gentle Plea for Chaos.
I remember that book and remember you talking about that.
Yeah, it was a book that I don't want to give the ending away, but it's just a gardening book, right? And talks about gardening and her working in her garden. And I'm reading this book and I'm kind of enjoying it because it's about English gardening and stuff like that. And I get to the last page and it's like I started crying. Just like, I can't believe that happened.
Well, with that in mind, John, you're a little emotional. We're going to take a break. Get yourself together.
All right, I'll try. I'll try to.
All right, it is 16 minutes after the hour. Welcome, viewers on Facebook Live. Welcome to those listening, streaming, however you listen to us, via Biz Talk Radio, AM 1240 here in San Diego, and later on this afternoon, 2 p.m. Southern California, AM 740. It is Garden America. Welcome to your weekend. Happy Saturday. John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Bryan Main. Going to step aside. Coming right back.
Why am I wearing a lab coat and standing in your lawn? Because I'm a Bayer Advanced Lawn Care Scientist, and I'm about to revolutionize the way you control lawn weeds. Because with Bayer Advanced Season-Long Weed Control for Lawns, you get the only spray that kills listed broadleaf lawn weeds, then creates a barrier below to prevent new weeds for up to 6 months. One application is all it takes. Count on Bayer Advanced to put revolutionary science right in your hands. Get more from the blue bottle. Always read and follow label instructions.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-285-4765 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-285-4765. Again, 800-285-4765.
My
computer is so slow, it's making me crazy.
I used to have that problem.
Did you quit using a computer, or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks On Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks On Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you are having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks On Site, 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis, 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks On Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682, 1-800-591-1682.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
Back here on your Saturday morning, thank you so much for tuning in from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast, everywhere in between. Facebook Live, thank you so much. I'm Bryan Main. Tiger Palafox back. John Bagnasco. Again, john@gardenamerica.com. Questions, comments, even better, Facebook Live. And somebody did call in to our studio coordinator, Tiger. You were supposed to mention something about the Rose Society today. Is that right?
Yeah, Matt.
You recall that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is she going to be on, or we're going to just talk about it?
I guess just talk about it, I guess, from the notes that I got from our director.
Okay. And John knows about this probably more than me, but the San Diego Rose Society is having their annual Rose Show today.
Wow.
Today.
1 to 5 p.m., right?
It starts at 1. It's, I believe, at the Casa? No.
Liberty Station.
Liberty Station. Yeah, and that's a really neat event. But also, in 2 days from now, John Bagnasco will be speaking, right? Is it in 2 days?
Oh, Monday.
Monday.
That's 2 days.
Yeah. 2 days, yeah.
Thanks
We'll be
for reminding
speaking
me.
at the San Diego Rose Society. So,
what am I talking about?
Oh, come on now. That's at the Casa de Prado.
Why do you pick a topic you know nothing about?
Yeah.
Well, I do. You know the topic I picked. I picked a topic you know nothing about.
That's a lot.
I had a lot to choose from.
Boy, I tell you.
Well, no, the reason you know nothing about it was because when we went to France 2 years ago,
right?
I went to a rose garden outside of Paris.
Oh, this is after we left.
And you guys never made it to Paris.
No.
So I'm going to be doing a PowerPoint presentation on that particular garden and a little bit about preserving roses and genetics. And show off some of my pictures and things.
Nicely done.
Yeah,
but today, down at Liberty Station, the Rose Show.
Where is Liberty Station?
In Point Loma.
Point Loma off Rosecrans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starting at 1 o'clock.
1 to 5.
Starting at 1.
Yeah.
And the Rose Show is where they actually do competition.
There's trophies and ribbons.
People harvest roses and present them, and then the roses are judged on colors, fragrance, style.
Is it not a little bit early, John, or
it's true,
right?
Huh?
Well, you know, it's funny because we had a meeting, this fall. We've got the National Convention for the American Rose Society here in San Diego.
It's going to be big this year. It's going to be big, man.
It is. It's going to be really big. So we had a meeting last Sunday, and we were discussing this rose show coming up, and some people were saying, I don't think I'm going to have anything for the show because my roses are too far gone. And I'm thinking, too far gone? Mine haven't even leafed out.
Well, that was my
point. I just got them back last week.
Yeah. Well, that was my point. Usually we like to go 6 weeks prior to the show for optimum bloom, right? And this is April.
A lot of people did. Well, a lot of people cut back in January.
Okay, that would make sense.
So,
but I agree.
Matter of fact, Ruth Tiffany's house, who we had the meeting at, she lives on a little corner lot in San Diego, and I mean, thousands of blooms, tens of thousands of blooms. Full bloom. It's like one of the most beautiful spots you could ever imagine.
Wow.
Outstanding.
So The nice thing about going to a rose show, at least what I think, is that when you go to a rose show, all the roses have their names on them, so you can see if there's a rose that you really like and you would want to grow in your garden.
Yeah, it's easy to document. They have to have their name on it.
Right.
And so it's nice to know that because you know the rose that you're looking at, you can find the name, you can find all the information about it.
And there's always people there who have good information.
Right.
So if you have any questions about roses, people there are happy to share their knowledge with you.
Hey, we're going to bring Melinda Myers on right now. Continue with your questions and comments on Facebook. We're going to keep track of them after we speak with Melinda. We'll get back to your questions. But somebody we all know very well here with Garden America, Tiger.
Yeah, so this morning we're going to be talking with Melinda Myers. Always great information. We're going to be focusing a little bit on soil and getting ready for the gardening season right now. I mean, a lot of people are still we're talking about rose shows, and people back east are still just thinking
they're digging
about
out.
planning and getting going. So, Melinda, good morning.
Good morning. It's always great to talk to you.
A question from a listener, the NPK on Milorganite. And if I remember correctly, is it 520?
It's 630.
Correct. And I think, it went from 630 to 520, and I think it's back to 630 now. They monitor, so you're all right. How's that? And the good part is it's a slow-release nitrogen, as you know we've talked about before, and the phosphorus is non-leaching. And the part that's so important to me, and I think a lot of us, is all those years of 10-10-10 and 12-12-12 fertilizing. And I was part of the problem when I was an extension agent. We all thought 30 years ago that if we told people that, they can't do it wrong. But that phosphorus and potassium are used in smaller amounts, bound to the soil and not available to the plant in many parts of the country. And they did research and found that when those microorganisms work on releasing the nutrients from the pellets of Milorganite, it releases some of that phosphorus and some of that potassium and makes it available to the plant. And there's not even any potassium in Milorganite, but it's putting to work all those high to excessive levels so many of our soils have.
Yeah, that's good to know about the Milorganite product is that, not only does it provide plants with nutrients, but it also helps release other nutrients and minerals that are in the soil for your plants to be able to take up as well.
I was part of the problem for many years, too, because I just could not get my head around the low, supposedly the low percentages of nutrients that were in organic foods. And then when I finally understood what Melinda is saying, it doesn't make any difference what the fertilizer analysis is of an organic. You just want to have something there for soil microorganisms to eat, and then they'll release whatever's in the soil to the plants.
So feeding them to feed your plants.
That's right. Yeah, we don't really need to feed plants. We need to feed microorganisms.
Yeah. Hey, so Melinda, since we threw you right into there with the questions, how's everything going this weekend? How are you doing?
Well, I have to tell you, I was thinking of John this morning because we had rain and low 30s, ice storms headed to Michigan, snow in the north. I know, and I thought John would be sitting in California going, I made a wise choice. Melinda moved from Ohio to Wisconsin, not so smart. John, much smarter than I.
Well, at least you made a move to a larger piece of property.
Exactly, and a chance to try some great new soil techniques. I went from heavy clay that I'd amended and created this great soil that I left behind, and I have sand and rock, and I'm a little older now, so I don't have 26 years to fix it. So I've been trying some things like hugel culture and lasagna gardening, as well as some of the typical raised beds, and adding amendments to my soil to feed that soil and create that good foundation for my plants.
Hey, Melinda, speaking of the lasagna method, one of the things that I find people ask a lot about when it comes to planter beds and boxes is the soil. When we get back from commercial, I want to talk a little bit about that because a lot of times they make it too loose for plants and it's too well draining and the plants dry out. So when we get back from commercial, we'll touch on that idea, okay?
Yes, absolutely. If you have any questions for one of us or Melinda in particular, you can call 855-424-9825 or post your question for Melinda right there on our Facebook page, Facebook Live, or John at GardenAmerica.com. As Tiger said, going to step aside. We're taking a break.
Allergy congestion, cut grass, cat on the sofa, dust in the carpet. Whenever allergy congestion makes you feel trapped, break through with Allegra D for 5-in-1 24-hour multi-symptom relief. Allegra D combines a non-drowsy antihistamine with a powerful decongestant for fast relief that starts working in just 1 hour. Break through allergy congestion with Allegra D. Use only as directed. Guaranteed or your money back. Visit Allegra.com.
Whether you travel for business, vacations, weekend breakaways, romantic interludes, or family adventures, you'll learn about unique destinations and tips to make your travel smooth, efficient, hassle-free, and inspirational when you listen to Travel with Stephanie Abrams.
Hi, this is Stephanie Abrams. Enjoy our fast-paced show traveling from beaches to mountaintops, cities to fairy tale castles, whether you're traveling for business or adventure. So pack your bags and join us.
Reason number 12 why you should own a ThermoSpa's hot tub? They require no attachment to your home's plumbing. Thanks to the ThermoSpa's unique built-in thermofiltration system that filters the water an incredible 144 times a day, you simply fill it with a garden hose and your water stays crystal clear. Very little maintenance. Call to receive a free DVD and brochure and find out how you can own a ThermoSpa's hot tub for only a few dollars a day. Right now, they're offering 0% APR financing with approved and a $1,000 savings coupon, including free delivery, free chemicals, and a cash discount. And with models starting at $4,995, there will never be a better time to own a ThermoSpa's hot tub. So call now and ask about this limited time offer. Call ThermoSpa's today at 800-956-7183 for your free DVD and brochure. That's 800-956-7183. ThermoSpa's, hot tubs designed to improve your life. Call 800-956-7183 today to take advantage of 0% APR financing.
As a small business owner, there's one word that you absolutely dread: payroll. For small businesses, it's a big burden. You may think you're saving time and money doing it yourself. But come on, are you? Timesheets, processing checks, calculating taxes, a total waste of your time. Paychex simplifies payroll processing, saving you time and money. Submit your payroll online, fax it in, or call your dedicated Paychex payroll specialist. And you're done. Learn more at trypaychex.com. Come on, do the math. The IRS dishes out 8 million penalties a year. Make one mistake, and you're on the hook. On average, you're losing nearly one business day every month doing payroll. That's time and money you'll never get back, unless you get Paychex. More than 500,000 small businesses already do. Call 877-649-5324. Trade payroll pressure for peace of mind. Call now. 877-649-5324. That's 877-649-5324.
National Funding Group has just released $100 million in easy access small business funding to businesses that gross at least $100,000 a year. You can have fast access up to $500,000 in new business capital in as little as 48 hours. Think about the ways you could grow your business if you had up to a $500,000 cash infusion. Call a NFG funding expert now. The process is easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. Then our management-owned lending team looks at your application for a fast approval. You can get 100% funded in about 2 days. If you need up to $500,000 in working capital to run your business and you gross at least $100,000 a year, call NFG and apply today. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. That's 888-785-0618.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
We, of course, thank you for watching, tuning in right here, Garden America, every Saturday. We kick things off at 6 minutes after the hour. John at gardenamerica.com. Questions, comments also right there on Facebook Live with your questions and comments, or 855-424-9825 with Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, and, of course, right back to Melinda Myers, Tiger.
Yeah, before the break, I was just about to ask Melinda about the planting beds. And sometimes when people first get them going, depending on the method they're using, they use a very loose soil. Which, when you put young plants in a loose compost or anything like that, it's very hard to keep them wet, very hard to keep them growing. And then only that, the soil isn't stable because they're just strictly planting in compost and the plants will fall over or something. Melinda, when you were trying different beds, what were ways that you helped keep the beds kind of more, I would say, heavy?
That's a great question. I did some typical raised beds, bought in a blended garden mix, and sometimes even, buying soil, you can end up with things that aren't as good as what you're starting with, and you're trying to get something better. And so sometimes you end up with more clay that holds too much moisture. You're right, they dry out quickly, especially raised beds. They're exposed to the heat and the air, and they dry out fast, and you have to be very diligent about keeping those young seedlings especially moist. I tried lasagna gardening, and I have sand and rock right now, and I was really trying to find ways to speed up building my soil because, I'm adding organic matter, but I'm trying to get some beds created. And I basically found that it was just composting, but there was enough organic matter, and I use compost, finished compost in between my layers. So for people that don't know, lasagna gardening, you measure out your bed. You can start with newspaper, cardboard to kind of smother any weeds and create your base, and then you put 8 to 10 inches of green and brown material, fall leaves, dried leaves, peat moss, greens like manure or kitchen scraps. Then put a layer of compost, some fertilizer. Of course, I use Milorganite, 8 to 10 more inches of green material, until your bed was about 24 inches high. And I was skeptical for all those things you're saying, Tiger, about the bed settling down, the seedlings drying out. That compost held the moisture so well. It did settle. I planted immediately. So I built my bed. Some people wait a season to let it settle. I planted immediately. I added some more shredded leaves as mulch. And I had some of the best peppers and tomatoes ever. The other thing, the bed settled. I planted it the next year. I was just doing vegetables. And the nice part is I had a few weeds in the surrounding area, I hate to admit, but those beds really remained pretty weed-free most of the season with minimal weeding. And so I was very impressed. And some people are even doing lasagna gardening in a physically raised bed, with timbers or interlocking block. And so instead of buying in topsoil, they're creating their own. And the other method, I don't know if you guys have tried hugelkultur. It's been around a long time. It was new for me last year, was the first year I tried it. But it's kind of like lasagna gardening, but your first layer are logs and branches. What? And all the things I know, right? So yeah. All the things we tell everybody is you don't put wood in a garden, right. Nutrient deficiencies and all of those things. So I was very skeptical. A friend had told me, 15 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, right. So I saw a few gardens in Atlanta when I was down with garden writers that were hugelkultur gardens, and there was some research out of UW-Madison, University of Wisconsin-Madison. A grad student did soil testing and didn't find the nutrient deficiencies. So I gave it a try, but I have sand and I have a lot of wind. So I dug a trench 2 feet deep. So it's a lot of work up front, okay? put the logs in the bottom, filled in with branches and dried leaves, and then I added annual weeds that had not gone to seed, okay, it weren't flowering, the outer leaves of lettuce, that green material. And then I put some compost and Milorganite over it. And then I topped it. I did top it with 6 inches of a good garden blend. And I'd read somebody planted sweet potatoes, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, you harvest them and all the branches are going to come out with the sweet potatoes. So I had a flat of sweet potatoes, and it's early July, so it tells you I was a little behind on my planting, and I put those in. I harvested several 5-gallon buckets of sweet potatoes from about a 3 by 8 foot bed.
Wow.
Big, full-size sweet potatoes, yeah. So the idea from what I was reading is wherever this mound gardening, that's what hugelkultur means, came from the forest. So if you look at a log breaking down in the woods, it acts like a sponge and holds the moisture. It releases some nutrients over time. And apparently I'm going to have a decade or more of benefits from this garden. So we'll have to talk in 10 years to see if that's still working. I know. So I let one bed settle. I just planted one bed, but I had such great response. I was actually very skeptical, and I was blown away by my results. And so I've met a few gardeners who have made berms and planted flowers and things, and it basically is creating soil, kind of speeding up the process, trying to mimic what nature does.
So you need to fertilize once every years if you're doing this method.
Right, exactly. I think the purists are probably mad that I put a little Milorganite in there, but I just had to, I wanted to hedge my bets. I'm like,
Well, Bryan had tried that lasagna method and said it didn't work for him, but he thought the reason was he was using whole wheat noodles. But I think you've explained to him what he really should be doing.
He didn't use the organic ricotta cheese.
Trying to be healthy, that's all.
I know. And Bryan, don't feel bad. When we did it for Melinda's Garden Moments, the crew was very disappointed when I'm dragging out all the leaf, the debris in the compost. They're like, "Where's the lasagna?"
Exactly. We waited for this. No lasagna.
Hey,
exactly.
It's all about layers. All about layering.
Hey, Melinda, that other style that you were talking. How do you spell that?
Yes. Sure. It's hugelkultur. HUGELK. ULTUR. Hugel. HUGELKULTUR. Hugelkultur.
That's interesting.
And if you Google it, you'll find, and there's a lot of different methods. And when I did the video that we did, I thought, there's going to be some purists mad at me for sprinkling a little Milorganite. But, I think one of the cool things about gardening is trying to make things you read about or talk to other gardeners fit your garden style or your situation. And you're going to look at some of these tiger and go, oh, my goodness, because some of these people make their beds 4 or 5 feet high, very sloped. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to, that's just a little too extreme. Mine looks like a normal raised bed, a couple feet underground. Well, the first one was 2 feet. The second one was only 1.5 feet. After digging a while, you go, okay, we're going to just take it a little easier. And about 2 above ground, so kind of normal.
Well, for more information for people that are interested in that, I did share your video from your website onto our Facebook feed for people to be able to watch that. And what an interesting thing. I imagine if there's a bunch of branches, if you do root crops, they're going to grow all twisted and kind of funky.
And that's what I thought about these sweet, right.
But they grew out just normal, no problems?
They did. I have sand, and my sweet potatoes kind of, they weren't perfect, and it's Wisconsin. And I planted in July, and I was able to harvest, which was amazing. So I'd opted to do 6 inches of topping. Some people only do 2, so you're absolutely right. If you're growing root crops, I put 6 inches on top. And so I really created a good planting base, but 2 inches to me, you're not going to get good carrots out of that. You're right. You will be pulling branches out.
Yeah, definitely.
My brother sent me, he texted me a picture titled April Showers in Michigan, and he has a cottage up in Torch Lake. in the northern part of Michigan, and it was, 3 inches of snow. Everything was white. He said at least he got to use his new snowmobile.
Oh, good.
But do you have any signs of spring on the way there, Melinda?
Oh, my crocus have been up for about a week, and then we got some really cold. So you know how the spring bulbs in the middle, they just kind of curl up, and then they come back. I haven't cleaned my garden beds yet, and I'm kind of glad I haven't because it's so cold. I figure it's insulation for anything brave enough to break the ground. And our roses took a beating this year. You were talking roses, and I think everybody in the North and the Midwest is turning green with envy because we had, below zero temperatures, 15 below, early and no snow cover. And our snow came now. Yeah, so we've, I keep telling people be patient because if they're not grafted, the root system.
Hey, Melinda, we got to take a quick break. I'm sorry, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up. So hold that thought as we approach 46 minutes after the hour. Back with Melinda quickly here on Garden America.
Why am I wearing a lab coat and standing in your lawn? Because I'm a Bayer Advanced Lawn Care Scientist, and I'm about to revolutionize the way you control lawn weeds. Because with Bayer Advanced Season-Long Weed Control for Lawns, you get the only spray that kills listed broadleaf lawn weeds, then creates a barrier below to prevent new weeds for up to 6 months. One application is all it takes. Count on Bayer Advanced to put revolutionary science right in your hands. Get more from the blue bottle. Always read and follow label instructions.
This is Joe Lample from Growing a Greener World. With the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite organic nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 3 months. The organic nitrogen is slow release and won't burn plants even during hot, dry weather. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for 90 years. Milorganite, for better results naturally. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and 3-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-935-0752 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-935-0752. That's 800-935-0752. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace income. For burial expenses, life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. That's 800-915-9658.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. That's 800-217-5107.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble.
Help!
I could barely move.
Help!
I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-414-1958 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-414-1958. 1-800-414-1958. Call for your free Life Alert brochure today at 1-800-414-1958.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
It is 51 minutes after the hour. Thank you for joining us here, Garden America, with Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Biz Talk Radio, john@gardenamerica.com. Facebook questions and comments right there, Facebook Live, as we come right back to wrap things up with Melinda. Tiger.
Hey, I know we're going to wrap
and
up.
John?
Well, I know that you guys will leave me out if I don't just push my way in.
Better chime in there, John.
Well, I wanted to let Melinda know because she likes to be up to date on everything, and we were just talking about roses, and she was mentioning how a lot of grafted roses, may have died. But in colder areas, shrub roses are really popular. For a while, knockouts were the rose to plant. And I wanted to let Melinda know that Ping Lim, who's a famous breeder out here in California, has developed a shrub rose with hybrid tea flowers on it.
Wow.
And that's a whole series that's going to be out, I think.
You got her attention.
I think it's going to start either next season or the season after.
How about that?
Oh, excellent. I think there'll be a lot of happy rose gardeners. I mean, I'm a shrub rose grower because I don't want to mess with the grafting and the winter protection. But, boy, there's nothing more beautiful than a hybrid tea. So this sounds like there'll be a big mark. I know there'll be a lot of us waiting for them to come out and ready to buy a few. So thank you. That's great.
All right. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, that was good. That was good information.
I'll go back to my corner.
It was good.
Yeah, that was good. And so Melinda, thank you very much for joining us this week. And I know it's always hard sometimes to take time out of your gardening for to join us, but
trust me, I'm not doing much outside right now. So it's good
planning,
to talk to you guys and hear what's happening there.
Yeah, we can give you a little bit of inspiration for what's coming around the corner for you. Is there any last minute notes? Where can people go for more information for you about you? Sorry.
Stop by my website at melindamyers.com. Other videos and audio tips there, some frequently asked questions and information. And we redid our website, so we're still working on getting some of that information transferred and new things. So if you find something's missing that we should have, let me know. We'll work on getting that added to our list. So I love to hear from your listeners as well as all the other gardeners out there.
Outstanding.
Yeah, and I was going to say, for any questions also, she's very responsive. If you have a question, you can always send her an email, or I think there's a format in there to write a question and ask her, and then they always respond very timely. It's nice. So
all right.
Good info. Thank you very much, Melinda. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Be safe. Bye. Okay, 54 minutes after the hour. Let's check back on Facebook. Any questions, comments? We got a few minutes before the top of the hour news break, before hour number 2. Maybe we can answer some of these questions.
One of the things that I wanted to comment on the question is right now we're starting to warm up in a lot of areas, and the bugs are starting to come out. And the question is about slugs and snails. With the warm weather, they'll start to come back out of hibernation. You'll start to see them really invade a lot of the garden areas that are shady with big leafy green plants. And number one is that the reason why you can tell it's a slug or snail over any other insect is that in the middle of the leaf, you'll get holes because that's the way they eat. Usually if it's towards the edge of the leaf, that's something like a caterpillar or a grasshopper. But towards the middle of the leaf, you'll see holes. Also, you usually see the slime trail. A lot of times if it's a shady area, you'll even see them just sticking around in there, the snails or slugs as well. The product I recommend is from Natural Guard. They have a slug, snail, crawling insect product that is a combination of, I think it's spinosad, and I have to figure out the other product. But it's safe to use around cats and dogs, which is always nice, too, because a lot of the slug and snails baits are kind of, what is it, John, metaldehyde? Is that the common?
But metaldehyde wouldn't be.
No, but that's the one that's not safe, metaldehyde.
Right, not safe around pets. Usually the organic ones are iron phosphate or something like that.
Yeah, but you don't want to use that metaldehyde one, which is common in a lot of slug and snail baits because, again, you've got dogs or cats or kids playing in the area. That's not a great product to use. But the Natural Guard one, I think, is iron phosphate, like John had mentioned. Safe to use around dog and cats, but still.
And a great fertilizer because it adds iron to your plant.
Yeah. And it works.
Yeah.
Because there's also a few other snail baits out there, and they're kind of more mild. Some of them, all they do is make the snail sleepy, and hopefully that they fall asleep in the sun so they get baked.
That's the way metaldehyde works.
Is that
they have to eat it, but then be exposed to the sun.
And if they're in the shade, it doesn't work.
Yeah, if they hide in the shade, then it doesn't work.
Not a very good theory.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the same thing behind people will say beer. They put a bowl of beer.
Right.
Well, when you put that bowl of beer out, which is fine, make sure you put it in the sun, because if they go to the beer and it's in the shade, you're just going to get a bunch of hungover snails the next day, but nothing bad will happen to them. If you put that bowl of beer in the sun, they'll pass out and not be able to get back to their wife and kids, and they'll just shrivel up and
Where
die.
have you been all day?
So yeah, slugs and snails, big problem right now. But a lot of people see leaves with holes in them, and they instantly think something like a caterpillar or grasshopper. Usually those come out a little later in the season too.
Right.
It's still a little bit early for most people for caterpillar and grasshopper problems. I mean, Southern California is always an exception to the rule because it's always 80. And
we had temperatures this week in the 90s.
We did, I know, and it's so
I've
our
had
bug
grasshoppers in my yard though, probably for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
I see them.
Yeah. I haven't seen any caterpillars yet, like you say, but grasshoppers I've seen.
I know the caterpillars are out because of the Asclepias. That's always just as soon as I start to see the Asclepias, the milkweed, getting eaten, I'm like, oh, caterpillar season is starting, because that plant just gets eaten up by caterpillars so fast. It's amazing.
Okay, we do have some Facebook questions, which we will get to early next hour. I think we have a carnation question. I think Rick has a question. Not sure whether we answered that with Melinda or not. It's a carnation question from Laura, I do believe.
Yeah, and then we also have an artichoke question.
All right, beautiful. Okay, we're just a couple of minutes away from the top of the hour. News coming up here on many of these BizTalk network affiliates. And, of course, Facebook Live continues next hour, 6 minutes after. We are not going to be broadcasting on AM 1240 for hour number 2, but you can stream us. Go to our webpage, go to gardenamerica.com, click Listen Live. Should take you directly to BizTalk Radio for the second hour, or keep it right here, or log on to Facebook Live, and you can watch the entire show. That's coming up 6 minutes after the hour. In the meantime, it is break time with news coming up on many of these affiliates. Thank you for tuning in to Garden America. Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and, of course, Tiger Palafox. Hour 2 coming up 6 minutes after. Stay with us, and thank you for watching again on Facebook Live.
The opinions opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. Biz Talk Radio.
USA Radio News with John Bagnasco.
A short time ago, I ordered the United States Armed Forces to launch precision strikes on targets associated with the chemical weapons capabilities of Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad.
And as the president makes that announcement from the White House, we started receiving reports of large blasts being heard in Syria's capital of Damascus. The president saying the precision attacks will continue until Syria stops murdering its people with chemical weapons. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley going after Russia for their role in this whole thing at an emergency meeting earlier today.
But we know who did this. Russia can complain all it wants about fake news, but no one is buying its lies and its cover-ups.
The president going after Russia for not ridding the area of chemical weapons. France and the United Kingdom coming alongside the U.S. I'm John Bagnasco, and this is USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wayne Alaroot. Tangible Investments is the main title sponsor of my show. Many of my fans and listeners tell me they buy gold and collectible coins from a local dealer in their city because they don't know where else to go, or from telemarketers they see on TV because these companies spend millions to advertise. Sadly, the majority of companies that consumers reach out to rely on commissioned salespersons who have limited experience, limited expertise, and no credentials whatsoever. Tangible Investments has been around for 35 years. They build long-term relationships, not one-time sales. They work on the lowest spreads anywhere in the industry, so you always get the best price. Most importantly, the listeners of War Now are guaranteed to deal directly with Mike Bonham, VP of Tangible, and a staff of senior executives with a combined 200 years of experience in precious metals. Get the best prices, the lowest spread, deal with the most credible, experienced experts in the industry, and right now start your Tangible relationship off right with a free American Silver Eagle. To receive your free American Silver Eagle, call 800-780-9000. That's 800-780-9000. Or visit TII1.com.
The latest police officer killed in the line of duty was a member of a Cape Cod, Massachusetts force. USA Radio's Chris Barnes with more.
The suspect accused of murdering Officer Sean Gannon on Thursday has over 100 prior offenses. Yarmouth Town Police Chief Frank Fredrickson says,
Sean was a wonderful, wonderful young man. And I'm not just saying that. I'm going to miss him terribly.
Suspect Tom Latinowicz allegedly shooting the officer as he was trying to serve a warrant on him. He then barricaded himself in a home for hours before finally surrendering. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein says he expects to get fired. He's being criticized for his role in getting former FBI Director James Comey fired and for the way the Russian investigation has played out. It was his signature that signed off on the FBI raids of the president's lawyer's office earlier in the week, and the president pardoning Dick Cheney's former chief of staff, Scooter Libby, on Friday. This is USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg testifying in Washington this week. USA Radio's Tim Berg recaps
One of the
testimony.
big stories this week was Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg testifying on Capitol Hill. Much of the discussion revolved around the election in 2016 and just how much of your data is safe. Some lawmakers dig Zuckerberg on if Facebook was blocking certain content that it may not agree with politically. Listen to some of the questioning and then some of Zuckerberg's response.
But I'd like to show you right now a little picture here. Do you recognize these folks?
I do.
Who are they?
I believe is that Diamond and Silk.
And their content was deemed by your folks to be unsafe. Diamond and Silk have a question for you. And that question is, what is unsafe about two black women supporting President Donald J. Trump?
Well, Congressman, nothing is unsafe about that.
Why is Facebook censoring conservative bloggers such as Diamond and Silk?
Congressman, in that specific case, our team made an enforcement error, and we have already gotten in touch with them to reverse it.
For USA Radio News, my name is Tim Berg.
And security time kicks off this weekend. Here's Chris Barnes.
Over a dozen law enforcement agencies at the local, state, and federal levels will be working together over the next 2 weekends as fans watch some of the music world's biggest acts.
That's Chris Barnes, and this is USA Radio News.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt, call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, call Consolidated Credit now.
Call now, 800-350-3241. That's 800-350-3241. 800-350-3241.
Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031. Licensed by Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 32. Establishment of a plan may adversely affect the individual's credit rating or credit scores. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase financial charges or collections activity, including litigation.
Welcome to the Garden America Radio Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
Hey, welcome to hour number 2, all the laughter and frivolity going on with Tiger and John between the break. It is 6 minutes after. We have John up and running. Is he good, Tiger, or we're going to continue that later on?
We'll continue later on.
Okay, we will continue.
I keep getting notifications that it's tax day tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow's the 15th?
No, tomorrow's the 15th, but
yeah, but it's Sunday. It doesn't matter, so they'd extend it.
Extend it to Monday.
Yeah, right.
So don't worry.
Anyway, you should do your taxes.
Yeah.
I've done mine a long time ago. February, done. In. Yeah. Boom. Get it off my plate.
Right.
Not going to worry about it.
I sit there waiting for the W-2s, right? W-2s, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, hey, they're supposed to be sent out to you like January 31st.
It used to be before the end of January.
Right.
Now it goes into February, and it slows you down.
Right.
Because I want to get it done.
Yeah.
When I get it all ready to go, and then one more thing comes in the mail.
Like a random.
Yep.
And not even the W-2s that are important. It's
just
like
something,
your bank account savings interest or something like that.
$25 you made. Like, what? Okay, I want to get some Facebook questions, Tiger, from last hour.
Yeah, so one of the questions from Laura was regarding the carnations.
Yes.
Do they have the fragrance? And yes, the carnations that John was mentioning do have fragrance, although some of them, John had said, like the black one, don't have a fragrance.
Yeah, there's one called Beetle, which I picked, and I think I gave you one, Brian, because it's a black-red color.
We'll see when things start to open up.
And because of the color, I picked it, but I don't think that one has much fragrance. But I will, when I do post them to our website, in the description, I'll put whether they're fragrant or not.
Okay, very good.
And you know what's funny is that I posted a link to the Fertilome Natural Guard Bug, Slug, and Snail Bait that has the iron phosphate and the spinosad in it. And then right away someone said, hey, can you repeat what was used for the slugs and snails? But it's on the Facebook side.
Right.
It's the Fertilome Natural Guard.
So just click that link that you're making it so convenient for our listeners.
Right?
Very convenient.
Exactly.
Puts all the links up there. All you have to do is click, and there you are.
Yep.
Answers about half of your questions.
Yeah.
And then did Rick have a question about Milorganite?
He did. He asked about the NPK, but
Yeah,
we answered that one. That was 620.
620. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have another question about artichokes and how do I keep aphids off my artichokes? And you know what? That's a super easy one, but it's also very difficult because artichokes, they have that nice rigid flower that it's easy to just spray them off with water for the most part. But you got to be on top of it. I mean, that's something you got to do kind of on the weekly. You can't let it go 2 or 3 weeks because then the population just gets huge and it's kind of harder to maintain. And then the flowers are kind of intricate where they get in the joints of the flowers and in the crevices.
Right.
And
just hose it off with a stream of water.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. But you got to do it. Yeah. I mean, you could say neem oil or insecticidal soaps, but since the artichoke flower is kind of like the edible part, you got to be really careful. You don't want to risk burning it. And I'm not opposed to using the neem oil and insecticidal soaps about eating it. It's that if you put it on at the wrong time of the day, you can get burning on in the flower, and because it's an oil-based spray, and you just got to be careful with that. But washing it off weekly is
simplest way to do it.
Is your best way to do it. If you can't get out there and do that weekly, you can use an insecticidal soap or neem oil. But again, I would do it in the evening, so that way it sits all night before the sun comes up.
It's not going to burn.
And it doesn't burn in the flower, because there's nothing worse than having this artichoke flower with these kind of black spots on it or anything like that. Because you're trying to eat it, and it's not that it's bad. It's just that it doesn't look always the best.
There's a passage in a book by Dean Reynolds Hole, he wrote a book called A Book About Roses in like 1872 or something like that. And in it, there's a passage about him going out in the garden in the evening, and he says, looking at his roses, and he says, armed with a cigar in case he came across an aphid.
Turn that sucker right off.
That's what they used to do back then, because they didn't have chemicals.
Right.
So.
Armed with a cigar.
Yeah, so as long as... So I guess my point with the cigar is, if you went out every night and looked at your roses, with a cigar, you could take care of it. And the same thing with the stream of water. You've just got to be diligent about spraying them with the water to get them off.
Or you died from emphysema, if you went out every night with a cigar.
Okay, so just a quick reminder, we mentioned it last hour, to download the iHeartRadio app. Go to your app store, Android or Apple. Download the app so you can listen to a future podcast, which we will be doing separate from this radio show. We'll do the radio show, then record podcast. It'll last anywhere between one particular. Not going to go willy-nilly. We're not going to go willy-nilly everywhere.
What about this idea? What about if listeners sent us suggestions on subjects they'd like us to cover in the podcast?
Absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And
because we do have a tendency to go off willy-nilly.
And then we'll do our best to stay on track and talk for 22 minutes to 30 minutes on that topic. We'll peel back the layer a little bit more than we do on the radio.
Right.
show.
I think planned we're thinking of doing roses,
succulents,
vegetables,
crafted vegetables. Maybe regular vegetables. Maybe we'll break that up into spring crops, winter crops.
So when you download the app, you can also, make your own radio station basically based on the music that you like. So it also gives you the opportunity to listen to radio stations that are iHeart stations all over the country. When you do get the app, just do a search for Garden America. Now, John has been kind enough to provide a link in this week's newsletter, and he'll continue to do that, where you just go down to the bottom, click that link. It'll take you to all the various shows that are podcast shows. What we have up there right now are previous radio shows that you've heard that we've taken, edited out the commercials. But moving forward, it'll just be a straight podcast, no commercials, talking about one subject matter. So again, download that radio app, the iHeart Radio app, for future podcasting here with Garden America. That's how we do it, Tiger.
Yeah,
lean, clean, and mean.
Right.
Going digital all the way. Totally digital.
Hey, so now that the weather is broke and we're warm, John, we're
going to get cold again. You know that.
You think so?
I do.
We're mid-April now. Aren't we in the clear now?
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the clear.
Except Monday, which I'm so happy about, because that's the day we have to ship.
In the greenhouse.
And it gets warm in the greenhouses. But Monday, the high in San Diego is supposed to be around 68.
So we're not over it yet.
Well, 68.
It's
cold.
Get
your jacket on.
We
cold,
just talked
68.
to Melinda.
Yeah, exactly.
She wishes it was 68. And my brother, who mentioned that he has another 8 inches of snow.
Another 8 inches.
With more coming? Or
in mid-April.
With more coming? I know.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
But now that we're in the clear, as far as Southern California, probably the West, the lower
Florida's
states,
fine.
all of those.
The Gulf states are all
they're-
good.
Texas is good for the most part, right?
South Texas,
yeah.
Though that just reminded me, I got a phone call from Donna in North Carolina and said that we were supposed to send her vegetables to her on Monday. Could we postpone it a week? And she's in North Carolina. She just said the weather was just too cold.
Really?
Yeah. And I also got a phone call from someone in Colorado. That I understand. They should have never ordered them for that early anyway. But
yeah.
But North Carolina, you would think they would be okay this time of year.
So what I was kind of getting at with the breaking into spring, though, is that people that haven't been watering their yards are going to begin to water their yards. People that have had their yards start to come back, they're probably getting a lot more weeds problems in their yards. And I've seen it in some of my clients' houses where weeds are really starting to take over. And one of the things I want to mention with this idea of weeds, because people get lost on this concept that the weeds are kind of like what we just talked about with the aphids, and that you need to stop the cycle to be successful with it. And, not allowing things to flower, not allowing things to just continue to germinate, because then your problem becomes much worse. Right now, I'm getting a ton, and I'm talking a ton of phone calls, probably about 5 a week, from people that have said, oh, my garden just got away from me. And I show up, and it got away from you like 6 months ago. This didn't just happen overnight.
You don't pull any punches when you talk to them, do you?
No.
Looks like a vacant lot, right?
Yeah. And you got Bermuda grass mixed with dandelions, mixed with oxalis, mixed with,
got away. I forgot. How about I forgot that I even had a garden?
Exactly. And people need to get out there and be proactive when it comes to that, because the minute that you let it get away from you, it's years to get back under control. We're not talking one visit.
Okay, break time coming up. Also, we have Rick online at 855-424-9825. Rick, thank you for your patience. We do appreciate that. You can also send your questions to John at GardenAmerica.com. Better still, right there on Facebook Live. Here, it is Garden America.
Why am I wearing a lab coat and standing in your lawn? Because I'm a Bayer Advanced Lawn Care Scientist, and I'm about to revolutionize the way you control lawn weeds. Because with Bayer Advanced Season-Long Weed Control for Lawns, you get the only spray that kills listed broadleaf lawn weeds, then creates a barrier below to prevent new weeds for up to 6 months. One application is all it takes. Count on Bayer Advanced to put revolutionary science right in your hands. Get more from the blue bottle. Always read and follow label instructions.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
There's no question you need omega-3s. But which form should you take? Fish oil or krill oil? Scientists have debated this for years. Luckily, there's a new solution to satisfy everyone. It's called Krill Omega 50 Plus. It combines ultra-pure fish oil and joint-soothing krill oil together in just one tiny pill. It's so powerful, it can promote the health of your heart and your arteries. And if that wasn't enough, it can also boost your joint comfort in just days. We're so sure Krill Omega 50 Plus will work for you, we'll even send you a free bottle to put to the test. The debate is over. It's not fish oil or krill oil, it's both. And now, it's free. Just pay $4.95 for shipping and claim your free bottle. Call now.
800-834-4690. 800-834-4690. That's 800-834-4690.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-569-3414. That's 800-569-3414. Again, 800-569-3414.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Yes, indeed. Very busy show. This is hour number 2, having a good time with Tiger, John, myself, Bryan Main here, Biz Talk Radio. Okay, a lot of Facebook questions. You're doing exactly what we've asked of you, so we're going to get to those. But first of all, I'm going to go the old-fashioned way, back to the telephones at 855-424-9825. Rick, you are very patient. Thank you so much for waiting. Rick, how can we help you?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, buddy.
Yeah, I bought a bare root dwarf apricot tree probably back in January, February, and I planted it in February, and we've had some pretty good rains here on the Central Coast past couple of months. I'm not seeing any leaf or any growth. On the top 3 branches looks like some green bark, but nothing so far.
You're on the Central Coast?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
In Lompoc.
Okay, in Lompoc.
Yeah, Lompoc.
Okay. Well,
you should be seeing something now.
Yeah.
But this is what I would recommend doing is, first of all, take a knife and scrape the bark and make sure that it's green underneath. If it is, the tree's still alive.
Is that the cambium layer?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be good news. And if this tree is alive, what you want to do is force out some leaves. So get a watering can, and in the watering can, put 2 tablespoons of a liquid fertilizer. You could use fish emulsion, kelp. Kelp would probably be my choice.
Yeah.
Use the kelp, and then use 5 drops of HB 101 per gallon, and just pour it on the bark itself. You can let it drip into the ground, but soak as much of the bark as you can. If the tree's too tall for you to reach, just get a ladder and then just really soak that. And
Yeah,
if you go ahead.
It's only like 4 feet tall right now.
Oh, perfect.
So if you do that once a week, I would say within 3 weeks the tree should be completely leafed out. But you've got to make sure that it's still green underneath.
Yeah, I tugged on it, a month or 2 after planting.
Uh-huh.
It feels, like it's taken root.
Okay.
So I did a nice whole little garden compost mixed in with the natural sandy material I got and watered it real good. Plus, we got some good rains last month.
Yeah.
I was hoping to see some. The white peach trees going crazy. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's also important on those new trees to make sure that they don't go a week without watering. If you're not getting rain, make sure that they're watered every week. because the
Okay.
the
All
only
right.
way for that tree to support itself is to be taking up moisture through the roots, and it doesn't have much of a root system because you just put it in. And so those new feeder roots are
Right.
just starting to go into the soil, and if there's no moisture there, they won't grow.
Yeah, it actually has
Okay,
a
all right.
negative effect. It'll dry out.
Right.
Those little feeder roots, if they grow and then
Right.
they dry, that's worse for the tree than if they stayed dormant longer and didn't
Right.
grow. So
Okay, Rick?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Sure,
call
no
us
problem.
again, too. Interesting. Rick.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bud. You mentioned the HB 101, John, and Rick acted as though, yes, I have that.
yeah,
He didn't
Well,
have
a lot of people have that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's probably, I mean, along with what you said, that talk about forcing something and giving it a shot of vitamins.
You know, we are out. I forgot to mention this to you because you're always saying how many bills you have to pay for Garden America.
But we're sold out.
But we're sold out of the 2 large sizes of HB 101. So we're going to have to order some more.
Okay, yeah, go to gardenamerica.com for the things that John is talking about. We quickly mention we've got a few spaces left for England, John, right? A couple of 2 or 3. We're leaving in July. Might be a little late now, but in case you're interested, you can always go to gardenamerica.com.
We're pretty much set on who's going, but they can always fit in 1 or 2 more
Sure.
people.
Yeah.
If you want to go, give them a call. Go to Earthbound Expeditions or go to gardenamerica.com, and you can read about the trip right there. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. And also, when you go to gardenamerica.com, sign up for our I almost said our Facebook news. Sign up for our newsletter, the Garden America newsletter that John works so hard to put together every week. It gives you the upcoming guests, various articles, little tidbits of information, and, of course, as John started doing this week, putting up a direct link to the podcast shows, it'll take you right there.
All right, getting back to one of these
Yeah,
questions.
lots of questions. Go ahead, John.
Dale wants to know about Helleborus grape galaxy. Can we talk a little bit about it? Are you familiar with that one, Tiger?
yeah, the dark purple one.
Yeah, really, almost a black purple. Really pretty. It's one of the newer hybrids, and they bloom for about 2 months? They last a long time. One thing I like about hellebore flowers is that when they come out, you've got color for a long period, but then they kind of hold there almost like an old hydrangea, you know, how it just stays on the plant. And
Kind of like a beautiful dried flower.
Yeah.
On the plant itself.
Yeah.
And they kind of a little like a chandelier kind of style too, which is cool too because the plant first comes out and the flower's upright and beautiful,
Right.
but then it kind of droops over and just stays there, and it gives it a different look. So on one plant, you have almost 3 styles of flowers. You have the bud, you have the performing flower, and then you have the old flower, but you keep them all. You don't deadhead them. I like the way they look.
yeah, I do too. And hellebores are really tough plants. For shady areas, if you've got a shady area where other things don't grow, they do really well. They come back year after year.
Now, is that is that an area of the garden you don't really trust? The shady area, you're not.
The shady,
an area you're
sketchy,
not, a little
the sketchy area. And then, correct me if I'm wrong. They have that thick, kind of leathery foliage, and that's a plant that deer and rabbits don't eat.
I think you're correct.
Yeah.
I think that deer and rabbits leave them
Yeah,
alone.
I want to say they're one of those deer and rabbit resistant plants. So for those areas of the yard where, you know, for instance, you know, John and some of these people that live in areas where it's kind of considered backcountry, it's nice to always to have those plants that you can put somewhere and not have to protect it.
Not worry about it.
But it still is very pretty. And I've seen them where people plant them and then they actually reproduce and grow, you know, and they can fill out an area nicely after you leave them for 4 or 5 years, and you get more plants as they kind of grow along, which is great. So
There's also
nice.
a few with variegated leaves now. They're kind of pretty because even
seen
when
that.
they're not blooming, the leaves look really good.
We got probably time for one more question before the break, John, if you have one.
All right, well, I don't know if we can do this because
Yeah.
Denise has a long one, but she says...
Maybe I'll put your list of heirlooms on the Facebook feed.
Okay.
So just answer her the soil question.
All right, opinion on potting mixes. Fox Farm's really what I like best.
Ocean
We all
Forest.
like it.
There's a lot of Fox Farms, but you like the Ocean Forest.
I like the Ocean Forest is the one I use, and Happy Frog is good too. It's actually very similar to ocean forest, except it doesn't have as much fertilizer. So it's a little cheaper, but you just need to start feeding a little bit earlier. And then if you go to gardenamerica.com, you can read about the heirloom tomatoes, and we'll mention some of our favorites when we come back.
And then, Tiger, you're going to post the rest of the stuff there?
Yep.
Very good. It is 29 minutes after the hour, almost 30 minutes after, as we take a break here. Coming up, about a half hour to go here. This is hour number 2 here, Garden America. Facebook questions, comments continue with that. And we'll get to as many as we can. Also, John at gardenamerica.com and 855-424-9825.
Shaquille O'Neal here. If you battle back or hip pain or knee or shoulder pain, you don't have to tough it out. You can just turn it off with Smart Relief from Icy Hot. You just push a button and whoosh. Smart Relief sends waves of relaxing pulses that safely block pain at the nerve level. It's simple, easy to use, and it's been clinically tested to start providing immediate relief for hours, even after you turn it off. So if you're battling pain, let Icy Hot help you win that battle. Turn on Smart Relief and turn off pain.
Use only as directed. Do you want to take the great shows of Biz Talk Radio wherever you go? Well, now you can with the new Biz Talk Radio app for iPhone and Android devices. Now all the great shows of Biz Talk Radio are with you wherever you go, just an arm's reach away on your smartphone. Download today at the App Store or the Google Play Store and get the brand new Biz Talk Radio app. It's Biz for you wherever you go with the new Biz Talk Radio app.
Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0473, 800-245-0473, 800-245-0473. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0473.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home? And you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-670-2142. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-670-2142. 800-670-2142. That's 800-670-2142.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're practically invisible, too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
It is 35 minutes after the hour. Back here with John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, Bryan, Maine. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. Thank you for tuning in, listening, watching on Facebook Live, and we have a bunch of Facebook, bunch of Facebook questions. Getting all choked up. There's so many. Do we have time to answer them all? That's
right.
That's what I'm pondering.
We're going to attempt.
Okay, we'll give it a shot here. Facebook questions.
So the next question that we had was from Fernanda, and she wrote, I planted 5 lavenders in my backyard and noticed when I bought them at the store, there were bees on them. Will I be attracting bees during the summer, and will it be a problem with the bees? And yes, bees love lavender, and so you will be attracting a lot of bees. And sorry to say, if it's a problem for you, that it's going to just get worse, because the more they flower, the more bees you're going to attract. Now, on the other hand, that's great. Bees are great pollinators. They're good for flowering plants, and bee populations are important to our environment. So I would say, for the most part, believe it or not, bees have this really bad image that they attack people when they walk by.
I walk right through them every day.
And it's so not the case. I mean, I work at a garden center. Every day we have bees. Yeah. We have beehives on our property. And every once in a while, the bees will swarm. And it's a scary thing to see thousands of bees swirling around looking for a home. But they are so focused on protecting their queen and finding a home, you can walk right by them and they won't even care. Now, if you ran through them, flailing your arms, they would react, but you would react too.
Absolutely.
If somebody ran through a crowd of people flailing their arms, that person would probably get tackled and subdued, you know? So anyways,
they don't like being stepped on.
Yeah, they don't like that. But I would say they're not a problem because they're focused on the plant.
Right, exactly.
They're doing a job. You don't have pollen on yourself. You have nothing on you that attracts them to you. So, therefore, walk by the plant, no big deal. Don't disturb them, and they'll just be fine. So, I don't think that they're going to be a problem.
Remember the romper room with the do bee and the don't bee?
Yes, they were little bees.
That's right.
Do bees and don't bees.
But, you know, on the lavenders, it's true that the flowers attract bees, but not all lavenders flower all the time. So some lavenders have a very short period that have the flowers on, and then no more flowers, and then you don't have to worry about it. And there's even one called Merlot. Have you ever grown that one?
Don't know that one.
It's
spelled like the wine? Like
no, it's Meerlo. A weird name.
Merlot.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. It's probably one of the nicest lavenders I've ever seen. It's variegated foliage, and I've never seen a lavender quite as fragrant as that. You just rub your hand on the foliage and it smells really good. Mine at home I've had in the ground now for 3 years. It's never flowered. Never once. So if you're worried about bees and you want a nice lavender that's going to smell really good, at least it might be a lavender that'll flower in colder parts of the country, but certainly doesn't flower for me in San Diego. I've never seen it flower. But that's Merlot. It's one of the plants that's in the collection by Sunset Western Garden Book. So in the Sunset Plant Collection, any stores that carry that, you can look for the lavender called Merlot, M-E-R, or Yeah, Merlot. Like meerkat.
Ah.
Except Merlot.
Merlot.
And it's nothing, as Tiger asked, it has nothing to do with the wine.
Okay.
Okay, where are we now on the questions here?
I'm going to hit this one real quick because I know we've hit it a few times, and we got Rick, and I'm responding to it online via Facebook. But can you explain the difference between the soil products, the potting soil, compost, fertilizer, humus, and how are they used? So potting soil, pots. Whenever you see a bag that says potting soil, use that in containers. Compost, soil conditioner, planting mixes, those are all products designed to use in the ground. Transplanting trees, creating a good flower bed, all of that stuff. You're going to mix those with your existing ground to help it thrive, help it be.
Give it a boost.
Give it a boost.
Yeah.
Fertilizers are nutrients. So those are vitamins. So all you're doing is putting nutrients into soils, and those can be used in potting soils or in the ground. So that's just simply giving the plants the nutrients they need to do what they do.
Now, when you use pots, potting soil, you have a little more control with pots than you do in the ground because you're keeping it into one location, whereas in the environment, you've got a little more to deal with because you have all the outside interference coming.
I think the biggest thing when it comes to the difference between pots and in the ground is what you just mentioned is the watering, though. Yeah. Because with a potting soil, you know it's draining, you know it's going away, you know you're going to have to re-water every 2 days,
hard to overwater.
Yeah, exactly. In the ground, sometimes you can water a plant, and that plant will stay wet for 2 weeks. And you don't want to overwater it again. You don't want to water it again because then you will be overwatering.
You have no control over those conditions,
right?
When you do with pots.
But Rick did mention one other product that can help you with that, and that's Humate. Humate is I guess you would call it a mineral that you add to soil. You usually only use it in the ground. You add to soil, and Humate helps create a good environment. So it's not a fertilizer. It would be what we would more consider a soil conditioner, and that's creating good soil where your plants are. So that's allowing for drainage, allowing for mycorrhizae and things like that to thrive and live, helping with pH and things for your plants to be able to absorb fertilizers. That's Humate. So I think that answered all of Rick's question on that.
Next up on the docket.
Ooh, do we want to attempt this one, John? The books from Gail. Give her your top 3 reference books. What do you think about that?
And by the way, we discussed that and think it's going to be a great topic for a future podcast.
Right.
So thank you for that, Gail. We'll do that on a podcast show.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of books out there. There's gardening books that you read for pleasure. There's fictional gardening books out there, which I really like. And then there's reference books. And number one reference book for Western gardeners anyway would have to be the Sunset Western Garden book.
And I think you are correct, but I just don't like the direction it's been going in over the past few years.
Oh, I haven't seen one recently.
Are they straying away from going west?
Well, they went from this beautiful format with pictures and great information to simplifying it and directing you more online. And, it's kind of like they'll do a short blurb and then they say, for more information, go online.
Right.
And they did away with pictures. And then they, in the back, the glossary, right, is how you...
Right.
You're good.
They did it not in botanical name. They did it in common name.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, isn't that the worst?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I love the Sunset Western Garden book, though. It's a good one. Yeah.
Okay.
What other 2 ones would you like?
I have to come up with 2 more?
Yeah.
We're going to be repeating these on our podcast, just so you know, John. It's kind of a warm-up.
Well, there's an encyclopedia of roses out there called Botanica, Botanica's Roses. If you want to know about all different kinds of roses, that's a really good one. If you want a fictional book, the 2 that I really like are also about roses, but we've mentioned them on the show before. But one is a history book, which is factual, that's really interesting because it goes all the way back to Napoleon's time.
So where does the fiction come in?
Oh, well, I haven't talked about that one.
I know.
This one is a true one.
Okay.
This one is called Chasing the Rose, an Adventure in the Venetian Countryside. And it's about someone whose ancestor, his great-great-grandmother, was a friend of the Empress Josephine and worked with her in planting the rose garden and designing the rose garden at Malmaison in France. And then she came back to Italy, and it's that whole story. So that was really interesting, and it's good reading. But for the fictional one, probably my best, or the one I like the best, is The Blue Rose Mystery by Anthony Eglin. And if you like mysteries, you like fiction. The basic premise of that one is this American family moves to England, and on their property they find a rose, and it turns out to be a blue rose. And so the mystery is all about the people that try to steal it from them. There's murder and intrigue involved. And
it's like
it's
finding
very interesting.
Having the Hope Diamond.
Yeah, something like that. But what I like about it is Anthony Eglin obviously did great research, and he's a gardener himself. So there's a lot of real, true gardening information
mixed in with the fictional aspect of the story.
Right, yeah.
Beautiful.
Really exciting.
So there's 3 right there. It is break time. We have one more segment coming up. We'll get to as many questions as possible. Hey, by the way, thank you for watching us on Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in to Biz Talk Radio. Whatever local market radio station you're tuned into, you can always catch our broadcast via streaming. And, of course, so we're ramping up our podcasting. Download the iHeartRadio app so you can listen to future podcasts. And, of course, every week in the newsletter, John will have a link to these podcasts, ones we have right now, and future podcasts coming up.
Why am I wearing a lab coat and standing in your lawn? Because I'm a Bayer Advanced Lawn Care Scientist, and I'm about to revolutionize the way you control lawn weeds. Because with Bayer Advanced Season-Long Weed Control for Lawns, you get the only spray that kills listed broadleaf lawn weeds, then creates a barrier below to prevent new weeds for up to 6 months. One application is all it takes. Count on Bayer Advanced to put revolutionary science right in your hands. Get more from the blue bottle. Always read and follow label instructions.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Attention! Are you moving soon and don't know who to turn to? If you are moving or planning to move long distance or across the country, Moving APT is offering up to a 20% discount for radio callers this month. Let us handle and remove all the pain and stress in a long-distance move. Let Moving APT help you with your all-inclusive move, including packaging services, help with washers and dryers, mounted TVs, bed frames, and more. We can include packing and unpacking services or ask for boxes, tape, bubble wrap, or labels. We also disassemble and reassemble appliances and TVs at your new home. Moving is difficult and stressful, so call Moving APT today to find the most professional movers to support you. If you are looking for a low-cost quote to move long distance or across the country, call us now. Call 800-716-0362. 800-716-0362. Get a guaranteed quote with up to 20% off. 800-716-0362.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's prices are not online. They're with SmartFare. Has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices, too low. So searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. One of our SmartFares travel agents finds ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today. The best next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% first class.
855-325-1769. 855-325-1769. That's 855-325-1769.
My computer is so slow, it's making me crazy. I used to have that problem. Did you quit using a computer, or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks On Site. They to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you are having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks On Site, 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repairs are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis, 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, maintenance, desktops, printers, and networks. Geeks On Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800.
This is an urgent notice for all residents suffering from back. You may qualify for a pain-relieving break at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, and wrist brace. These are covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility, to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your costs. Don't wait. If the deadline passes, you may lose the opportunity or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825 or John at gardenamerica.com.
Here on Garden America, thank you so much. Final segment. Thank you so much right there, I should say. Joining us on Facebook, BizTalk Radio, John at gardenamerica.com. Email questions. 855-424-9825. We continue to at 51 minutes after the hour. Looking, Tiger.
So our next question that we're going to answer is from Kathy, and she said, I heard exposing flange at the base of the tree will increase productivity. What do you think? And in my experience, necessarily increases productivity, because this is a normal practice that whatever tree, apricot, citrus, apple, pomegranate, whatever you have, if you're looking for production, never bury the flange of that tree with any soil or debris, because that can end up rotting the tree out and killing it. It's actually a pretty common thing that people do with the heavy mulch, and they don't maintain that berm around the base, and they let that sink into the middle. That tree will die, and you can't get it to come back. Once it begins, and even if you quickly try to remove it from the base of the tree, it's almost like the damage is done, and it's really hard to get it to recover. But so I don't think that it necessarily increases productivity, but it definitely is something as far as a good practice that you always want to keep the base of trees well free from any kind of debris or soil buildup, because that could have a negative effect on the tree and ultimately kill it. I mean, I've seen it happen even, in roses, where people will mulch their rose garden, and then mulch settles around the base of the rose. It builds up the breed, and then the rose dies. And, they could have 5 roses in a row. Rose is the one that got buried and it died. So I don't think that increases productivity, but something that you want to avoid is building up any kind of mulch or debris around the
Did you see we have our friend Marilyn?
Louis Obispo.
That's right. Go there.
Let's go to San Francisco. Marilyn, thank you so much for the call. How can we help you? We've got a couple of minutes here for you. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, and I thank you for being on the air. I get very weak reception from Santa Maria, so I got all the information, but I wondered how many years it takes for the Fuji to bear. I planted it this last week, and I'll ask all my questions first. And I heard something about vegetables. Can I order them from Garden America? And I wondered the name of the carnations that you mentioned. Those are my questions.
Okay.
Oh, I have one more thing for John.
Okay,
I
well,
have a quote.
all right, before...
Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory, from Dr. Seuss.
That's great.
That's a good quote. Okay, now, John, on to the questions.
Well, right now, just a memory.
Okay, the carnation questions, ordering vegetables.
Okay, and the first one was the Fuji apple.
Yes.
Usually you, on bare root trees, you allow yourself 3 to 5 years for a crop. You can get 1 or 2 or a small number prior to that, but usually 3 to 5 years. And
okay, thanks.
What was the other?
The second one is buying vegetables.
Leaves her phone number with our screener. I can try calling probably by Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Okay, so yeah, when we don't hang up, we'll give your number, I should say, Marilyn, to our phone screener after the conversation.
Unless Marilyn does have a friend that can place an order for her. Which is called Sunflower, is the name of the group. And within that group, 3 different colors. We have a red, almost a black red, and then I think it's a pink. And then the other is the Odessa series. And in the Odessa series, we have 2 varieties, and the one called Pure is white and looks like a regulation, but it's shorter stems, so they're not going to fall all over. And then the other one, which was called something pink.
Oh, yeah, the one you couldn't remember at the beginning of the show.
I can't remember, but that one is kind of a 2-tone color, and that one's a semi-double, not a full carnation flower like the Pure. And those can be put in pots or in the ground, and the Sunflower, I think, are better in pots because they're really growing carnations. So does that answer your questions, Marilyn?
Thank you, except think of another one. When do my strawberries bear that I got from you?
Are they flowering yet?
No.
No. Well,
they're in a earth box, and then you one with white strawberries with red seeds.
Yeah, that's the pine berry. They should be putting out flowers here within the next couple weeks. If not, then they might have gotten messed up by our winter weather like a lot of plants have. I have a out and just now some flowers, and I think what happened was we had that really warm plants started to grow, then something came and said, hey, it's still warm, and they they put on the brakes and stopped growing, and now they're just starting to get back up.
Hey, we're up against the clock, Marilyn.
Thank you very much.
You betcha. Thank you for the call. The week, another edition of the Garden America radio show. Don't forget, going to be up. We do have a few shows on the site right now. You go to our newsletter down at the bottom of the page. That'll take you directly to those podcasts, which are basically older radio shows that we've cut up and edited, took out the commercials for your listening pleasure. But in the future, we will be doing one per podcast. So send us those questions, send us your comments, send us those ideas. In the meantime, I want to thank the entire gang. Thank Brandon, want to thank Zach, want to thank Jeremiah keeping us on the air. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. I'm Bryan Main. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for listening. Have a good week. We'll do it again.